Hello everyone, welcome. How is the audio? That looks good. It's been a little while, friends. Yes, it's been a couple of weeks actually. I had a work trip down to Melbourne last week, so I didn't get to stream last week. But yeah, we're on to a new project. It's been a little while since I've done. Uh, I just had a very funny text message. G'day, Rapid Transit. Hello, mate. Yeah, we're going to start a new project today. Haven't done one for a while. So, and Hugo's here. Aren't you, buddy? Hey, do you want to say hello? Boost. Hi, everyone. Hey, buddy. Hey, off you go. Yeah, we're painting this. Yeah, I just decided to pull it out and start painting it. So that's what we're going to do. Because I can. I have been painting my Oathsworn models, continuing the paint job on the Oathsworn models, but unfortunately I can't show them without potentially spoiling some people. And I would prefer not to do that, given that I have been given the privilege of painting some of those models and creating some semi-official guides. I would hate for someone who's followed me as a result of Oathsworn to just kick in at a moment and see some spoilers. So, g'day from Jim. But I can show you some of the models that I am painting that are not spoilers, because there are a few models that are listed as not spoilers in the official Shadowborn perspective, because they've been spoiled elsewhere. So I'll show you the ones I'm painting. What do we want? What story do we want to tell with this model? I'm not sure.
Some wet food.
I haven't done a teal light for a while. Oh, I find that hard to believe. My girlfriend is being very critical of my painting style. Thanks, Vids.
No worries.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a teal something. That might be fun. Oh, good. You're an idiot. I put together my list of models that I'm taking to Queensland Model Hobby Expo. So I'll show those later. Oh, gotta get my towel. This is my painting towel. It normally sits on my chair. It's covered in absolute fucking years of paint. Always sits there, so I can just rub paint off and wipe my hand. So yeah, I think it's been a fair while since I've streamed. You can probably hear it in my voice. I'm still crook. I've been sick on and off for about 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It's been a long time. And I just haven't been able to shake it. Had a work trip, which was good, but yeah, samurai green maybe that could be fun. Let's try that maybe. And yeah, I think we'll go this one. If only could make a deal with God, get him to swap our places, be running up that road. Yeah, we've Had some pretty bad ones in Brisbane. Yeah, apparently we've got another COVID wave coming our way, which is exciting. Depending on your perspective, I suppose. Uh, so yeah, hopefully we'll catch up with Bucks later on. It's been a while since I've chatted to him. Queensland Model Hobby Expo is only about 3 weeks away now, so 4 weeks maybe. So I thought it might be time to get back into some display painting for a bit. Put together a few projects. So I've got a historical piece that we'll work on. Next week. Hopefully it should have arrived by then. And yeah, we might try and put together another bust. Yeah, we'll make it a. Yeah, I'll wait till the model arrives and I'll show you then. It's a cool figure. Mm-hmm. Make a deal with God. Hmm. No. Maybe some. Maybe some dark brown. Where are you? Yeah, it's been it's because I've been so unwell the last few weeks. I haven't even felt like painting. So you can tell I'm sick when I don't feel like painting. That is a that is a very unusual turn of events for me. Normally if I'm sick, I still just find a bit of time to paint, take my mind off things. Nope, nothing of the sort. It's probably you. It's not me. So yeah, we'll go through the QMHE entries a little bit later on. Yeah, and see if we can sneak a few final ones in the next few weeks. G'day, Cooge. What's happening, mate? G'day, Mozzo. What's happening, champion? Zoom in a bit, I guess. Is it writing for one of your scripts of your excellent films? No story, mate. I haven't explained it. Rather, I should say. It's just a display figure that I'm painting for a competition in a few weeks' time. It's just a cool figure. I like it. Has no real story other than that. We're still trying to figure out what we're going to do actually with the overall story of it. G'day, TJ. Might move into a bit of red leather. And we want. Oh, it's a Queensland Model Hobby Expo, Cujo. In Brisbane in a few weeks' time. Yeah, I'll go through my entries in a little bit. Got a few, as always. No, not so much. It's a pretty small competition. It's been going on for 25 years, but it's pretty small. It's a pretty small event, but it's my local event, so I always like to support it. And it's pretty much the only event in Australia that I get to attend and compete. The elf. No, I haven't finished her off. She is one of my entries. I assume you're talking about this chick. No, she's not done. She haven't got much time left in her. Just this hand and a few other little details. I might do some tattoos or something. But yeah, she's pretty close. So I'll knock her over at some point in the next few weeks. But no, I just felt like it was time for a new project. It's been a while since I painted something display oriented. So g'day, Mittens. What's happening? Um, yeah, thanks, Mozzo. I probably am going to do some more tutorials and stuff focused on board game figures over the next few months. My yeah, my editing ability is pretty ordinary, so it's something I've been trying to improve, and I have a plan to do a pretty big project in the second half of this year, which will be some vampires, display figure vampires, and I'm going to try and turn it into a couple of different videos, building the diorama and painting the figures and so forth. So yes is the answer to the question, but with the caveat that it probably won't be too soon. My next video project is actually going to be a playthrough of Oathsworn. I've set up all my cameras and got everything all prepared for that. So that'll be my next video series as such. But yeah, I might. So this is not a spoiler. This is one of the monsters from the game. It's not a spoiler. It's on the main Kickstarter page. But yeah, this is the monster that I'm painting at the moment. The big worm. So that's the one I'm working on at the moment. I'm gonna try and have everything painted in the story in the Oathsworn playthrough that I do. Hopefully. No, it won't be a KDM killer. I've been reading a couple of people asking the question: is this the Gloomhaven killer? Is this the KDM killer? And I just don't know that. Well, first of all, I don't know that I like that terminology because I don't think anything can actually take those games off their pedestals. That they'll always be the first games of their genre that really redefined. Thanks, Mittens, for subscribing on YouTube. Or in the case of KDM, really created the genre. There's very little chance that Oathsworn will overtake KDM in that genre. Now, I say that having played 5 ish chapters of the story, and I do think that Oathsworn is a really Bucks, a really incredible game. I think it's got really great mechanics. I think it's got the best story I've played in a board game thus far. But the magic of it is that first experience and that first playthrough. And so I'm actually, really, really excited to do a playthrough and get to experience that live, because I think, it's something you won't be able to capture again. KDM, there's a sense of discovery and a sense of excitement as you play through the game, but what really catches you in KDM is the sensation of building, a settlement of little people and watching them survive, and how you adapt based on the changing situation that you find yourself in. And Oathsworn doesn't have that. You don't have a adapting situation. In fact, you really have the same monsters and the same storylines, which may have some slight detours. And again, caveat that with having only played 5 chapters, and it's been brilliant, but it won't overtake KDM for me in terms of the type of game that it is. And the models in KDM, as Mitten said, also stand pretty tall in terms of what value they add. The Oathsworn models are great. I've enjoyed them. I don't think they are as geared towards painters as KDM. But I'm excited. I'm excited to play through, and I think it'll definitely be one of the best games that come out in the last few years, based on what I played now. And I think it's pushing board games into a new space, into a really story driven space that I can't recall. G'day, Pascal. Many other games pushing into. But I think that's also its downfall. The story is really good, like really good, and then you get it once, and I'm good, mate. I haven't seen enough of the game yet to make a definitive statement that, hey, this is all you get. you get this one playthrough. I'm sure on a second playthrough there'll be some different moments that happen, but wow, the experience of it so far, the excitement, the oh my god, what's going to happen next has been fantastic. But it's never going to be recaptured. I'm actually playing it with my Tuesday night gaming group and letting them make the decisions so that I can live vicariously through their decisions and sort of have a second playthrough. I'm not making any choices. I'm just letting them make the choices. So yeah. Yeah, Tainted Grail, played it through once, really enjoyed it. Was like pumped for the game, and then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play through again and try some different characters. And I got, 3 chapters in, and I was like, well, I'm actually not that excited anymore because I sort of know what the two paths are. Cool, you can do this or you can do this. Yeah, and you still get to the same end result. Um, yeah, which isn't devaluing Tainted Grail's experience the first time. It was great. I loved it. So yeah, Tainted Grail was good actually. I played it solo all the way through. Really enjoyed it. Tried to play it with another mate and play 2 player. Couldn't get into it as much. Just felt like it was a solo game. Solo gaming's such a weird experience. I'm all for it. Like I love it, but yeah, it's weird when you're like, because I enjoy multiplayer games. I play every Tuesday, and we play some fantastic games. Um, Many of the games I play solo just don't work as well in that setting. So yeah, I played the Arc Nova this week just gone, and Cloud Age this week just gone. That was some interesting games. Particularly liked Cloud Age. Liked a lot of the mechanics in that. That was a cool little game. Um, Ark Nova, I think I need to play again. It felt very uh, terraforming Mars. Yeah, the announcements from San Diego Comic Con for Marvel are really exciting. The trailer for Black Panther 2 looks unreal. They announced Daredevil is making a comeback on Disney Plus with Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio. I don't think I could be more excited for that. Just Charlie Cox in that role is dead set iconic. Vincent D'Onofrio in that role is dead set iconic. It's going to be amazing. Um, I watched Ms. Marvel all the whole way through. It was great. Yeah, I think they're doing some cool shit, and I think we'll start to see the overarching story begin to come together. I haven't seen Thor. No, I meant to go on the weekend, and mate, I was just too sick. I was just like, I can't do it. So and that's unusual for me. I'm normally there opening night for them, so I'm going to hopefully go one night this week. Maybe see if I can convince my girlfriend to join me. Hey, Rocket. Yeah, mate, it's just been about 3 weeks of sickness. Can't shake it. She didn't like Thor Ragnarok. She thought it sucked. I, on the other hand, thought it was unreal. One of the greatest films in the entire franchise. Uh, and given that Love and Thunder looks like more of that, and she also doesn't really like Natalie Portman, so yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Christian Bale, yeah, cool. Um, Mate, the best Marvel movies have always been when the villain is a convincing and interesting character. Literally every time the villain is a steal, it's a great film. Oh, g'day, Art Plushie. Thanks, champion. Thanks for the raid. I'm just painting this fellow, but let me show you some other things. This is something else I've been painting last few. Well, it was about 3 months ago, I reckon I did this. That's how long it's been since I painted this model. Been a while. And this is one of my entries for a competition. It is happy time zone to me. Thank you. Everyone, go follow Art Plushie. Go do it. Thank you. Enjoy. Thank you. Enjoy the walk. Hugo and I went out for one earlier. It was great. See ya. All right, serious question. I haven't watched John Wick 2 or 3. And I think I'm justified in my decision. Let me explain why. But my question is, should I watch them? Hmm. Okay. So here's my justification for why I haven't watched them. I just think that John Wick 1 was such a good movie and was so unexpectedly awesome and just such an out and out action movie that I did not expect to love as much as I did. I just don't want to spoil that. I don't want it to try and be something that it wasn't and try too hard, you know? Does that make sense? Yeah. And that's the sense I got from it. It's like, yeah, cool, let's dive into the world and talk about the fucking Assassin's Guild and the hotel and stuff. I was like, I don't want that. I don't want to know that. You know? I like the fact that I don't know about it. I like the fact that you just sort of hinted and made it something unknown and cool, you know? Constantine too now, I'm all about that for sure. If you didn't watch Arrow, the DC Green Arrow series. Constantine makes an appearance in that, and I think he actually had his own spin-off show, which didn't do all that well. But he's a good character. He's a good character. Rachel Weisz at the peak of her powers. Shia LaBeouf, yeah, back when he was not a lunatic. Actually, he was even a lunatic then, but great film. Tildra's Gabriel, amazing. Hey, you joining me, Bucksy? You want to come hang out, have a chin wag? Hey, Rectum. Let me know when you can, buddy. Mate, I'm very well, thank you. Say my name, say my name. No one is around you. Say, baby, I love you. Dogs, mate. Scaraboss, this is from a Kickstarter a few years ago now that's probably actually made its way to the Nocturna website. It's a Nocturna model. This one's called Shield Breaker. I think Shield Breaker. Yeah, I've actually bought the Kickstarter was for a big orc dude riding a monster, and I bought it for the orc because I was like, um, he'll be good for my orc tribe diorama when I get around to that one. Um, but then there was a couple of minotaurs in there that I liked. This one and I think a second one that I liked. So this is sort of going greener than I was thinking. It's okay. We can address that. I've got many things from Black Sun Miniatures before. Yes, Mozzo. Um, yeah, these are from Black Sun. Shit, we could go through the Black Sun collection of Big Denos paint jobs if we wanted. These are from Black Sun. This is Severax v Solrax. A little jewel. What else have I got from Black Sun? Let's go and have a look at my Instagram page because there is a lot on there of Black Sun figures. Good one, Deno. One of your best, mate. Outstanding, Deno. Outstanding. No, Deno. Stop what you're doing. Oh, great. All right, here we go. Doofus. All right. So Severax and Solrax, Black Sun. That whole thing's Chimera and Aradia. That's Black Crow. That's Cozy from Creepy Tables. That's Hera. Those two models on this are Black Sun at the front. The one at the back's Journeyman. That's Spira. That's Michael Contraros. That's FER Miniatures. That's Limbo. Those are Hera. That's Black Crow. That's Black Crow. That's Inu Kingdoms from Nico Galaxy. That's Big Child. That's Mindworks. That is Young Miniatures. That's Aradia. Those are all Games Workshop from Curse City. Inu, Spira, Alternity Miniatures. Carol Rudick. Spira. There's a Black Sun Barbarian that I added to my Drizzt diorama. I don't think anyone else is from... no, the rest are from different manufacturers. He's from Black Sun. He's from Nocturna. He's from Scale 75. She's from Nocturna. He's from JP Studio. Carol Rudick. This one's from Black Sun. This is the one I was looking for. It's one of my favourites I've done. Yeah, love Black Sun, mate. They're really good, big chunky models. Lots of good volumes. Robot Rocket, Carl Rudick, Spira, Big Child. There's another Black Sun bust. Bress, the old Barbarian. Great figure. That was one of the first figures I streamed, actually. Another Black Sun. Hey, Celery. Yeah, I'm doing well, mate. The Huntress. What's her name? Savage Beauty. Savage Beauty bust. The robot here is Black Sun, as is the lion. There's a fun story. So the lion I bought for this diorama, for this project rather, to be the Cowardly Lion, but I ended up using the Barbarian from this as the Barbarian in the Drizzt diorama. There's my Kingdom Death. There's oh, what's that one? Broken Toad. That's a great figure. I killed that. I was really happy with that. Yeah, that was a great one, Deno. One of your best. Cult of Paint. Spira. Fantastic. Aradia Miniatures. Limbo Miniatures. Yeah, that's a good paint job. That's one of my best paint jobs, I think, that one. I was really proud of that. And then I saw the one at Scale Model Challenge done by Mikhail Shizmenko, and it was utterly insane. There's some Rising Sun figures, an Illidan, Carl Rudick, my Fairy Garden, which is pretty good. I'm pretty sure I got some more Black Sun back here. That's Big Child. That's shit, who did that one? Galapagos Miniatures, Carl Rudick, Aradia, Michael Contreras, Cult of Paint, Zaba Art, Veiled Lamp, Creepy Tables, Big Child, Limbo, some Tainted Grail models, another Limbo. Some great times up on stage. Fantastic. There's a Black Sun. That's a good model. Good model, that one. No, I do not have a background in art, mate. I just have painted a lot of models. which has helped. I don't think I'll keep going too much more. I'm sure I've got one more very popular Black Sun figure. Oh, those ones from Legions of Asura from Sergio's brand. Some Games Workshop stuff. Yeah, I did a whole Games Workshop army on here. All these Nurgle dudes. It was awesome. Yeah, I have seen those. I like them. They're probably not 100% up my alley. I thought they were fine, but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna buy any of them. Yeah, I fucking painted some models, haven't I? I did a couple of Savage Beauties. Oh, here's me teaching a class, rolling down a hill. Good times. Did a couple of Savage Beauties as well. Yeah, I've done 2 versions of this model. That was a good one. I enjoyed that. Hmm. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. No, I didn't go to World Model Expo, mate. Thought about it. About 2 months out, I was like, ooh, I'd really like to go. But I didn't. Didn't end up going. I was close. Very close. Thanks, Pascal. Yeah, it would have been amazing to be there. First get together for everyone in years. Get to see some incredible pieces. Yeah, Albert's dwarf. The more I look at it, is just, what are you doing? How do you do that? I hate you. Yeah, the whips has been blowing my brain. I love him so much. He's such a nice dude, and he's so unashamedly like enthusiastic about Games Workshop and the history of the game. He just loves it. Um, just gets super pumped about Adrian Smith and all those guys who made artwork back in the heyday. It's unreal. I love him. Really nice guy too. Got to spend a wee little bit of time with him chatting away. Alright, how are we going to bring this back into a reddy colour? Maybe we'll switch to orange now. Let's see. Yeah, I do you know the thing that did it for me? The fingernails on the toes have that little light bit.
Do you mean toenails?
Yeah, it's got this little. There's a section at the bottom of the toenails where it's got that little dark light color. It's just wild. That guy is cracked. Hello there, Emmanuel. How are you, mates? Thank you for the raid. Everyone should go follow Emmanuel from Green Art of Colors. He's been painting some cool models from an Alien Kickstarter, testing out some new paints. G'day, Jan. I'll show you that model vids. I'm doing well. JW Miniatures, it's been a while, mate. Yes, I'm doing well, thank you. Here is this I was talking about. Look at this. Look at the toenails. Uh, just obscenity. Yeah, he's just so pure. Just does not put a brushstroke out of place. I love it. I love it, and I love it because I'll never do it. That'll never be my style. I'll never paint like that. Yeah, yeah, that's 100% accurate for me as well, mate. There's yeah, him, um, Andy Wardle, those guys who just they're all about that precision, you know, perfect brush strokes. I love it. Cujo's a bit like that too, actually. Cujo's got some very precise brush strokes. Yeah, Richard Gray, he's fantastic actually. Particularly like his avatar that he's working on. But yeah, what the other one that was at World Model Expo that I saw that blew my brain was it was one that I've actually been following for many years now, and it's done by a guy named um, what's his name? Bucks, tell me his name. Luis Mendez Wanola. Unbelievable, unbelievable. The Three Witches. Um, this piece, if you go back and have a look on his, I think it's on his Instagram or his Facebook page. Literally 5 years ago, I commented on his post, and I was like, man, you need to you need to just stop what you're doing. This is ridiculous. This piece is just unbelievable, like gobsmacking. And I'll tell you why it's gobsmacking, right? You can't even see it in this. These are some of the most incredibly sculpted figures, full stop, right? But it's just the torsos. And this lunatic has sculpted every part of their lower halves and their legs. That's all sculpted. He's made that all. This is all. So that here, let's go back because I dead set. I'm sure I posted on his. Yeah, it was way before this. It was on his Facebook page. You go back like 5 years, and there's me on his Facebook page, just being like, "I love you." What do you think of those fingernails, Vids?
Yeah, they're cool. The wrong color.
What? My tie?
Wrong house.
What?
The wrong house.
I'm Gryffindor.
I can tell. You should ask everyone what house they're in.
My girlfriend would like to know what Harry Potter house you're all in. I'm quite clearly a Gryffindor. She is a Slytherin. That is Luis Mendez Wanola, who is probably one of the best painters in the world that very few people know of. Because he doesn't crank out heaps of figures. How can you have not seen Harry Potter? I can drop a link, yes.
No Slytherin.
Scaraboss is a Slytherin.
Nice.
Bucks reckons he's from the Goblin Banker house.
That's niche, actually.
Yep. A couple of dobbies. Dobby is a free elf. Big Bag is a Hufflepuff. Commiserations, mate.
Good that he knows.
Commiserations.
I'd rather be a Hufflepuff than a Gryffindor.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
Gryffindors are the heroes of the story, mate.
Gryffindors are the mean girls. Mean bullies. Jocks.
Big Back, I am doing well. I think everyone else has expressed similar sentiments so far this evening. Al, take it from me. I didn't read Harry Potter until I was late 20s, early 30s. I watched the first couple of films around that time, and yeah, the first couple of books aren't really great, but the later books are excellent. You should definitely make some time and give it a crack. Assuming you're a reader or consumer of that. G'day, it is Parts Monday, yes. We're all taking our cars apart. Big Timber. Breezy, you are just an absolute pest. Did you know that? An absolute pest. I fucking love it. Breezy's my Tuesday night gaming group companion, and he's always talking about this fucking TV show called Big Timber on Netflix, and it's about, I don't know, a lumberyard or something, and he fucking loves it. He never stops raving about it. It's so annoying. I do mean second best friend, yes. No, you'd be up there on the list, mate. You'd be high on the list. So we're gonna be on for tomorrow night, mate. He is still his family's still crook, still crook. Cool. really sure what I'm doing here, but it's quite enjoyable. So my normal approach for painting display stuff, if you haven't seen, is I'm sure many of you have seen, is make it up as I go along. Try some different colours, do some things. When you're out of practice, that feels harder. Feels significantly harder. And yeah, to go from not painting for like, I don't know, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, really, into trying to paint a display figure, it's a bit weird. We'll figure it out. Maybe we'll move into some salmon colors. Let's try some salmon. What's a salmon color I can use? Ooh, ooh. Yes. Oh, second rose. Oh, Nocturna are unreal, man. I've done some beautiful figures over the last few years. I've had some of my favorite releases.
Ready? Ready for the catch it? Look. Oh, you catch it. What about this one? You catch that one either?
No. Thor's one I haven't painted. Who did a really good version of that? Bucks, the Thor. Arnel Lazaro, I think, did a version of that Thor that was awesome. Was it Arnel? Yeah, I feel like it was. No, my some of my favorite models in that range. There's a priest from the range that reminds me of a Necromunda model in 75 mil. Awesome. and then all of the chicks on like violins and stuff, the Necro range, are really just some sublime figures. G'day, All Mites. How are you, mate? Yeah, the halfling bard's pretty great too. I used him in my diorama. No, going well, mate. Thank you. Hmm. Oh, let's go. Okay, let's go. Let me just go and get a room set up. Get the airbrush, you reckon? Wow, early days. I might need to clean my airbrush, my little one, my good one. I've been using the big one for all my stuff recently.
Hey.
Hey,
Hello.
oh, here he is.
You've been using the big one, mate, the workhorse.
Yeah, the big one. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Big demo room. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah, a couple of those jobbies, you know.
There you go. Join that room. The password is hammer time, all lowercase.
No problem.
Oh, you're a gibberer.
I just got the right means for the right occasions. There we go. Bring me in.
Oh, here he is.
Here's trouble.
Here he is, the big fella. Boom. Did I do it? I did it. Here he is. Welcome. Welcome, Bucks.
G'day, g'day.
It's been going on,
Hello,
mate.
everyone.
Spoken to you in a little while.
No, you've been a bit under the weather, obviously, and you've been out and around.
Yeah, had to travel to Melbourne last week, which can I just say, not a fun trip when you're not feeling well.
No, I can't imagine that it's a great trip when you're a bit under the weather.
And then we had a turbulent flight back too, which just made it worse.
Ooh.
And yeah, just haven't really been painting all that much at all. But UMHE's got me fired up, mate. Seeing everyone coming up. Oof.
Oh, has it?
Oh, pumped. Can't wait.
We got the tribe is coming.
Yeah. I didn't realise Jimbo was coming up as well. That's exciting. And
Yeah,
he's got a
we're all
trading
coming.
store.
Yep, he's got a trader. He's got a vendor up there, so that'll be great.
Awesome. Yeah, it's big event for him. I think he'll be doing pretty well. I think because it's an untapped market of collectors up there. Most of the people.
Oh, Jano's going to be there as well, I reckon. He was saying he's going to be there.
Yeah, Juddo's always there, but Juddo sort of caters more to that historical side.
Yeah, true.
And we've really started to see
The rise of fantasy.
yeah, particularly at the event. There's been a lot of fantasy entries recently. So
Yeah, no, I'm so excited. It's going to be such a good time. We'll all be together, and that'll be great. I was saying to Ben last night the way I'm sort of treating this from a sort of a mental perspective on painting is that like this will be the cleanse off, like the mid-year cleanse off. This will be everything that sort of has you've seen pretty much everything. You know what I mean? That'll come up.
Yeah.
And then it'll be great to sort of let all that go and start gearing up for the big one.
the big one, the Crimson Brush.
The Crimson Brush in January.
Well, it's usually after QMHE settles down that I start diving into the prep for the event. So so I'll get through that weekend and have a good time, and then we'll dive into Crimson Brush.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Crimson Brush this year. We're going to be vastly less restricted.
We hope.
We hope. We should probably never count our chickens before they hatch, but and what that means for us, you know, the ability to potentially bring some people out. I think the attendance is going to get quite high than last year.
Yep.
Got a good feeling about that.
I've got two potential overseas guests that are thinking about it at the moment. So
yeah, the communication has sort of started around the traps. I was at one of the venues down here that likes to host those events, and they said they'd been contacted about it through DC. So
yep.
So things are happening. Great.
Yeah, hope so.
But we're going to get through QB first.
Yeah. So I'll do a little rundown of all of my entries.
Please do.
Um,
I could join you, mate. I can do a little rundown of all your entries.
Sounds good.
You can do a little rundown of all my entries if you'd like.
Sounds good. I don't think Eldar count, mate. Do they? Like,
Oh, mate, right now I'm painting 30 Space Marines.
oh, sorry.
Set myself a goal to paint 30 Space Marines in 1 week,
Yeah, but why?
and I'm nearly done. I'm painting eyes now.
Yeah, but
Why? Well, I like the Horus Heresy. I like the period. I like the lore. I like the writing. And I like to live what I say. And I think that painting armies has a lot of value in all forms of painting. And I've been on this thing lately. Like, I don't know how you'll see it. Benny and the crew think I'm a bit of a goose for this one, I think. But I think if we only ever paint things that we just like painting all the time, then I start to dislike the things that I would normally like. So in painting an army, I'm painting in a more gratuitous manner. When it comes time to paint, display stuff, I'm really excited by it. Like, I'm really pumped up, and it's such a change of pace. Yeah, love it. So
I'll sort of come halfway with you there. I think there's great value in not always painting what you're excited by. Great.
I just spat my drink out on that one.
Great value in doing that. I've always tried to push myself and paint some historical things and paint with desaturated palettes and figures that I don't always do. You know, I was hoping to paint a tank this year, but I didn't end up getting around to it. There's value in that for me. I won't go so far as to say if you don't do that, you'll start hating what you paint. I think if you're hating what you paint, that probably means you're painting too much. Which could be
another side effect.
Yeah. Or you
And I haven't run into an issue where I was hating what I painted, but something to have a good chat about is like after World Model Expo and then sort of painting a couple of things that I think I did a pretty reasonable job on. I started to have these weird sort of feelings come about that was like it's like the more you take steps forward, the further you realize you are away, but then you also understand what it takes to do that.
Mm.
And so it's like, I guess through gaining knowledge and a bit of wisdom around this, it's almost like it starts to create a little bit of a block in your mind because you're like, well, yeah, the workload has got to be higher.
Yeah. I think you got to always just come back to this, mate, right? And I think you and Benny are the same, have a similar problem, right? You just go too ham on something, and then your focus and your goal gets skewed away from doing it because you love it to doing it because you want to try and achieve some aspirational goal. And as soon as you pinpoint, I need to do this, I need to achieve this, right? You start to lose the reason you do it and the joy and the happiness.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty solid and sound assessment.
So my advice is if you're painting stuff for a competition, that's fine. You're probably going to reach a point where you hate it, and that's part of that journey. But
it is, yeah.
But your goal should always be paint because you like painting, and I promise you that you'll never feel frustrated or not want to do it. So
yeah, I think it's a combination of that, and then it's a combination of always like wanting to break through, and that is a competition in and of itself, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that Ben and I talk about always, like, but no secret probably now to the Ben, you should come and join us, man. Yeah. You're our mythical friend.
There's nothing.
The people need to hear your voice.
There's nothing wrong with like having aspirational goals and wanting to achieve, a result. And I think it's good to have those goals. There's an old Chinese proverb that I love: "May all your dreams but one come true." Because if all your dreams come true, what have you got left to aspire to? But it comes with sacrifice, and that's the constant battle. Is valuing, do I want to achieve this goal or do I want to enjoy myself? You can't have both. You got to find a balance.
Hey, just to answer Mick back, I'm doing the Sons of Horus. That's the Legion that I've always liked the most, and of course it's a version of teal, which is a strong color choice for the champions of this channel. So
love a teal.
Yes. I feel you on that one. It's it was just a weird sort of thing that washed over me. I think it was that combined with like listening and having a chat with Tui and sort of studying the pieces that came out of Denmark, out of their space, out of what is it? Is it Dogmark? Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Aren't the Danes just like in a different space to everyone else?
Very much so. And they're in this real like feeling space, right? Everything they paint, all of these things conveys really interesting messages, and like, dare I say it, it's art. Like, I think it's all art personally, but not everyone has that.
They're certainly pushing. They're certainly pushing towards art more so than Space Marines.
Hobby. Yeah.
I find big events like that, they'll usually go one of two ways, mate. They'll stoke your fire like nothing else, or they'll make you realise, shit, I've got such a long way to go. And if you're really lucky, they'll do both.
They'll do both. Yeah. Which I think that did. I believe that on everything that I've painted up until this, like now, until we go on to QME, like all of my emotions have been severed from those pieces now. Like I just, I've hit that point, couldn't care about them anymore. And I think that's the best place to be in order to enter the next step of learning. So,
yeah.
Mate, So basic. Well, I am a lot of things, my friend, but basic is not one of them. uh, the Suns are fantastic. I will not have it. Um, Granted, they are the glory boys right now because they're in the box set and everyone wants to paint them. But yeah, back to that sort of that thought. Yeah, it's so. For example, candidly, what's been stressing me out about miniature painting lately? Nothing should ever stress you out, mind you, but um, uh, like backgrounds, right? Like backgrounds seem to be becoming this massive part. Like that, and we were talking about this last night. And Ben made a really strong point that maybe they're not as everywhere as we think right now, but it's just because of WME and the combination of years of work that hadn't been seen or hadn't been all in one place. It just felt like that backgrounds were sort of a huge part. But like for me, I like a background, but it's not the be all and end all. But feeling some of that pressure, like, oh, do I need to move into doing backgrounds now? Like, do we need to enter this space where we're looking at ways to create even deeper, more immersive environments?
Are you ready for me to answer that for you? No.
Yeah, go for it.
No.
No. Well, I know you'll always give me the black and white answer followed by a sound, theory behind it.
You only need a background if the story you're trying to tell needs a background. You don't need to put a background in there because you think you need a background. Yeah. It's like, just... Sometimes I think you and Ben, and other people I'm sure, but you two, because I talk to you the most, just get wrapped up in that, like, you think you need to be something. Like, yeah. And it's when you're just being you and just painting yourself that you're going to do your best stuff anyway, mate. Like,
yeah.
If you want to paint a background, cool. Try painting a background. It's fun. Do you need it? No. Can you do it? Probably not right now. I know Ben can't paint trees for shit.
This is why we need you, mate. Because we cast our lures fucking far, and forget to tie it to the fucking fishing.
Yeah, it's just
we need to be reeled in sometimes.
you just need to pull your heads out of the clouds sometimes. I think you just get Paint a background if you want. Don't paint a background. You don't need to. Everyone's painting backgrounds at the moment because they're fun and they're a cool way to tell a story. You don't need it though. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Here he is.
Hey fellas.
Ah, Benny.
I had to come in to defend myself. Andy's the background that I couldn't care.
Thank you.
Yeah,
well,
Benny couldn't care.
We know you couldn't care, mate. We've seen your trees.
Yeah, been there, done that, conquered that.
Conquered that.
Yeah, look, this is probably more a me thing than a Ben thing. I think Ben has his own things, but...
Yeah, Ben's thing's Kirill. Like, what is wrong with that guy? Kirill. No, look, it always comes back to this simple point for me, mate. When you paint what you're excited about, when you paint what you enjoy, that's where art comes from. Art comes from emotion, from passion.
Yeah.
You can't force it. You can't force yourself to do something because you think that's what you need to do to achieve an outcome.
Which is like I'd say is like when you're lower on the mountain, and you're in that sort of state of learning more than just creating. Like it gets a bit harder in that regard. Yeah, because you are less focused on just creating, and you're trying to learn new methods. You're trying to understand processes. A lot of the time, you're trying to understand those processes just by looking at an image, right?
Yeah.
And you're trying to break it down. You take that one step further, which I think for anyone who's getting into display painting, actually acquiring people's pieces to break it down and understand it is a really good way to go about it. But yeah. What do you think about that?
Benny?
Think you become more free?
It depends, man. Like I can't pinpoint anything because I change my mind so much. But I very much felt what Dennis said before. You can't force it. It was like with that halfling chick. I was painting the other day.
Yeah.
And I thought, I was like, oh yeah, I really want to do this. And then I literally got, a couple hours in, I'm like, oh, I just don't want to paint this at all. And just put it down. I was like, I'll just do something else. I'll finish something else. But yeah, I don't know. Like my kind of theory with like, if you want to get good at art, it's just like replicate and learn because to learn all the techniques and the fundamentals. Then if you want to create art, just start creating rather than like trying to care about the technique side of things. Is my kind of opinion.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, all of those things are still are rolling around in your head in the process, I guess, right? Like they're still
Yeah,
they're still there. Like you generally know the answer. You know where the doorway is out of these sorts of thoughts, but often we don't choose to walk through it, right? You choose to roll these thoughts around in your head.
You choose to.
I choose to. Not everyone does.
I think you look at more stuff than me definitely now than what I used to anyway. Because I don't really watch any videos much now unless it's like when I bought a Follow Meals subscription the other day or last month. That was just like interesting to see how he did that stuff. But other than that, I guess I just don't search it out so much nowadays. I just kind of once I find a big project that I'm interested in, like the dwarf. I'll do a bit for that, but then I'll just like the Gandalf and stuff, just paint a bunch of random shit. It's a bit fun.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what I'm doing right now, right? I'm painting an army of space marines as a circuit breaker to painting 3 or 4 display pieces in a row.
Yeah.
Whereas I found, and this is probably where I really was last year, or this time last year, I wouldn't have needed a circuit breaker because I didn't have the same knowledge as I do now, nor the skill level, and so I felt like you know when you see like a 10-year-old jump on a motorbike for the first time and they either are petrified or they just let rip, right? They just go for it, and they are unaware of their surroundings. They're completely unaware of the dangers they're putting themselves in. They just drop the clutch and go ham, right? And then as they learn their way around the bike, they realize, oh man, I was pretty lucky not to drive that motorbike straight into a fence right then. Like the first time I rode that. That's the sort of feeling I'm talking about, where you know.
That's such a weird analogy, mate. Honestly, that's such a weird analogy.
It can be a weird analogy, but it's the idea that like you don't know the pitfalls, so you're oh, Benny, that's super loud.
Benny, that's no good, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait. Let me mute.
I understand your point. I think, going far afield from our original topic, which is if you want to do art, do art.
Yeah.
Right? That's what you need to come back to. If you want to achieve a specific result, right, that's when you're going to get into pain. If you want to paint a backdrop because you want to paint a backdrop, fucking sweet, mate, do it. But ultimately, where you are finding yourself in this rut is because you're setting yourself a goal that has some hard work attached, and that's always going to challenge you and always going to test you. And I mean, my only real reference point here is my trip to Monty the first year and the second year. But the first year I didn't paint anything, and the second year I said to myself, I'm going to paint something for this event, and I'm going to dedicate myself to this, and I'm going to absolutely pour as much of myself into it as I can. I painted something for about a month, one project for a month. You've seen what I did in a month earlier in the year, right? I did that fucking Hyperborean diorama. So for me to paint 2 tiny little busts for a month, that was such a challenge for me. And there was times when I was like, fuck this, I hate this, I don't want to do it anymore. You've got to be able to find that drive in this is what I am trying to achieve, and it is going to hurt sometimes, and I've got to find a way through it anyway. Hugo, hey, Bunny wants to say hi, buddy. Come here.
Transit. New segment, Andy's analogies. Absolutely. Most of the things that come out of my mouth are going to seem quite cooked, but I hope at some point some semblance of sense is made by them.
All cooked.
They're often related to things that have happened in my life. That motorbike one is a very specific one, actually.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt me.
You're right, and like that's the thing is like I think I've made the decision within myself that for Crimson Brush I would like to do one entry specifically for the event this year.
Yep.
I had not made that decision for QME. QME will be, you know, probably the last time that I just take everything that I've painted and call it a day. From now on, I'd probably like to paint one thing for the event that's coming up, and then whatever I've.
Yeah, but I think I'm painting stuff for the event, but I'm not painting something special. Like I'm not pushing myself to go crazy. I'm just doing it. Hey, buddy, do you want to have a look at that? No? Hey, come here. No, you're running away from Uncle Dad.
Yeah, I love that, Bunny, that you've got something sorted for Crimson. How much time will be spent on an entry for Crimson Brush? As much time as required. If it flows really well and I don't get hung up, then it could be quick. But if it doesn't, it could take a while. I think I've like fallen into a bit of trap lately where I've been painting something I feel relatively comfortable with, and that's painting these orcs. I feel I've sort of explored this sort of style of painting a bit with them. And then I went and counted in my collection of things to paint. I think I've got like another 11 orcs. So like I've obviously got a problem.
Hey, buddy.
And I need to break that
Little Hugo!
by painting some other stuff.
Hey, buddy. Boost.
Look at this guy, what a legend.
Hey, mate.
I do love orcs. I love orcs and I love trolls. And so expect to see a bit of that at QME.
Have a kiss.
And then hopefully we can break out of that.
See ya. Touch. Good boy. Good boy.
Good job.
Stop trying to steal my dog.
Yeah, well that's it, right? Transit. Yeah.
It's such an interesting thing, isn't it? Because you're putting so much time into the result, and that's so backwards to the way that you want to, you know, like approach life. You know, it's about the behavior, it's about the attitude. It's never about the result in a perfect world, anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like I guess with all of that floating around, recently. So we're talking about painting. Recently, changed the parameters of what I'm doing, and I've been painting armies and painting Space Marines, and I busted my Patreon cherry and decided to give some money to a team of a crew of people that I think have been doing a really good job for the
Did you get a cult to paint? Did you?
Scene. Of course I did. I think they do a very good job.
They do an excellent job. I was a patron of theirs for about 12, 18 months. I think they're really good. I definitely recommend them to people looking for Patreon. My recommendation is always Sergio, right? Because I think he just aligns with the way that I want to paint. But yeah, Cult to Paint, awesome.
Yeah, and for what they're the opposite of how I like to paint as well, right? Like it's safe to say that like we probably all have gravitated to each other, both by you having influence like on us as younger painters coming through, but also we like the same stuff, like, and that's no secret. We've talked about it heaps here. Cult of Paint is pretty much the opposite to the way that we do things, right? It's a lot more structured. It's a lot more systematic. It's a lot more relying on more traditional scale modeling methods. And I figure the tool belt will be as vast as you want it to be. So like, let's bulk it out and learn some new stuff.
No, I'm supportive of that. Andy does some great topics. Henry does some great topics. There's value in that for everyone. I think it's a good Patreon to go with. It doesn't hurt me, yeah. You want to feel how it feels. You're
noticing a lack of buff on your desk, Jared. Is that because you found preference recently in 75 to 54 mil and dios in particular, like storytelling, or is it just by coincidence?
I've got the opposite problem. I've got so many busts sitting there to be painted. I haven't got that many 75 mils or figures.
Too scared
Hmm.
and prefer storytelling. Yeah, people get real iffy on busts, say, like as a sort of a bit of a hang up. Whereas I'm the opposite. 75 millimeter sort of stresses me out. Like, and I'm not sure why. I'm using the term
I don't know.
stress out. I shouldn't use that term.
I don't
It's
know
just
why.
not my preference. I'm making hobby sound like it's like a painful tortured artist right here. No, certainly not. Yeah, well, I guess we all have our preferences.
I don't know why people are nervous about busts, but I think it comes from you never paint a bust for a game. You only ever paint a
Yeah,
bust for painting, and I think there's that sensation of, well, why would I do it? What am I doing it for?
yeah.
You know, and it feels like if you do a bust, you're only got the bust at the end of it to look at and go, well, cool. I didn't need to paint this because I was painting an army. I didn't need to paint this because I was trying to achieve, a result for a specific time frame. I just am painting this to paint it and nothing else,
Yeah.
which can be a bit nerve wracking.
You've always been into gaming models, yeah, so it's sort of informing your decision when you go to choose things.
Hey, Bucks, what new contrast paints are out now, are they?
Yeah, man, yeah, I've got a desk full of them.
Any good ones?
Yeah, mate, there's some absolute bangers.
Can you
To be
send me?
honest.
Can you send me 5 that I need to get?
Yep, absolutely, and I'll send you the swatch so you can see them.
Yeah.
I actually, yeah, you've got that already. That's in our Instagram chat. But yeah, there's some absolute killers. Eldari Emerald. I believe that you'll probably be able to find some use with Bryquan Chill. I think that's going to be a really nice color for some non-metal metallic stuff.
G'day, mole man.
Hi, mole man. So Imperial Fist Yellow is a very strong yellow. But I think some of the interesting stuff is like I think it's called Garrick Sewer. That's quite nice. The new shade formula is quite nice too. Rattling Grime, that's pretty good. Pretty good brown. I think you'd probably be interested in the Doomfire Magenta and potentially the new Magmadroth Flame Orange and the Bar Red. You'll probably end up like you did last time with a large percentage of them, just because. Yeah, I mean, you're a massive fan of Volpus Pink, so I feel like you're probably going to get yourself Sigval Burgundy.
I'm using it right now, actually.
Are you? Yeah. Volpus Pink?
Yeah.
So Sigval Burgundy is like just a bit stronger, right?
Ooh, yeah.
So you can probably go in with Volpus Pink to start with. I'll chuck it all in Discord for everyone. So Volpus Pink is a really good one to start with, and then like we can withdraw with Burgundy, and get that punch. Which you could do by just doing multiple layers of Volpus, but changing the tone is always fun. Some of the greens though, man. Eldari Emerald, you're gonna froth it. Croxagore Scales, you're gonna froth that. That's the new turquoise.
Nice. Yeah, we'll put it all in my Discord, friends. That's dirty paint water in.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, no. Yeah, pick your 5 favorites and I'll go buy them.
Come up.
Yep.
And yeah, I quite like some of the new shades too. I think they can be used for quite a lot.
bum. Do, 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 do.
Very interesting contrast. Contrast is a very hit or miss topic for a lot of people. I hear a lot of people with this idea that contrasts are just not good, and it completely and utterly baffles me when people talk
I am
that way
baffled
about
by that.
anything.
I am
Yeah.
baffled by that.
Yeah,
But you know the same, mate. Poor tradesmen, all
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
Here is the only observation I'll make. People that go into contrast paints thinking that they are the be all and end all will no doubt be disappointed, because that is not what.
Breaking news: if they go into any paint range anywhere,
Yeah.
with that mentality,
Fair.
they're done for.
Fair. Yeah, but if you go into them, you know, this is a tool. I have access to a new tool. You know, you'll be fine. Do you want to feel how it feels?
Have you been watching the Ring of Power trailers?
Yeah, I saw one. It looks pretty good. I'm moderately excited for it. Yeah. I don't consider myself like a Lord of the Rings nuffy or a Star Wars nuffy like our Benny boy, but
Yeah.
I'll certainly watch them and certainly be enthusiastic about them when they're present.
I'm going to be overpainting eyes when I've painted 30 sets of them at the end of the night.
I've been doing my Iceborne stuff, so doing some board game figures, and man, there's something quite nice about just
Turning the brain off and just going for it. Yeah,
just painting some models, mate. You know, just
Yeah.
painting some models. There's something nice about that. So
there is, and that's what I've really enjoyed about this project. You know, like Horus Heresy is much bigger than the normal wargaming, and you're painting a lot of the same stuff. So all the methods and techniques have to surround that, right? So
Meg back, very cool, mate. Yeah, look, I won't say I was one of the first, but I've certainly been very pro contrast paints from day dot, and have always felt like they're just a tool. Like there's so many uses for them. My painting, yeah. So anytime you have someone say, "Oh, they're rubbish, mate," just send them a picture of my Instagram. Say, "Go check this guy out, mate. He loves them." Be a fucking advocate for.
well, that's it. I mean, you do enough research. I think that the standard message is from people who do advocate contrast is like if you go around the traps enough and you go and look at the desks of the best painters in the world, there's a contrast paint in almost all their collections, right? Like there's going to be a reason for that.
Well, Pazarski used one in one of his friggin' tutorials, mate.
Yeah,
One of his video
that tells you a lot,
tutorials.
doesn't it?
Yeah. So if Pazarski's on them,
Yeah, if they're good enough, what is it? Good enough, Pazarski? Good enough for me?
yeah, damn it straight.
Yeah. Did you watch Sergio's new video, the one that he did for the Thunder Lizard,
I haven't watched it.
Thunder
You
Lizard?
mean the
The time lapse?
Yeah, no, I haven't watched it. Is it good?
Yeah.
Go Wavy. I love Sergio, man. I love him.
I know. So you'll love it. It's got. I really want to paint something big and mount it.
Oof. Yeah, that's a nice challenge. Maybe we should do that.
We can do that. I'll lean on your expertise as you've done a fair few.
Yeah, I've done a couple, haven't I?
You have, pal.
I've done a few bits and bobs in my day.
Yeah, you've been around for a while. bit of an old man in our scene, I guess.
Not just in the scene, mate.
Yeah, just in general.
my new nickname at work's the Silver Fox. So
Oh, you become the silver fox.
because I got the old salt and pepper going on.
Mm.
Bit of these ones.
What do they say after that? You sly old dog, you. Hey, Wavy, how are you, mate? Yeah, I just want to paint something fucking big, riding, and I don't want to paint like riding something furry. I want to paint like a lizard or a dragon or.
Yeah, I've actually done quite a few big models like that. I've got one in there now from Nocturna actually for my Orc diorama.
Yeah.
I'm sitting at about 5 dioramas now that I've got.
You are stacked. And hey, I'm looking forward to, like, I didn't just put in all this work on learning how to paint Spanish orcs to not put it to use when we get to the diorama.
We'll be doing it. We'll be doing it. Don't worry. But
Yeah.
I think
that's what all this work has been for,
Yeah.
mate.
the next one I think is going to be the vampires, Carl Ruding vampires 75 mil. I've got a clear vision on that, and I think that's just going to be the next one. So. But unless you're keen to do the orcs, because I think that'll be a fun project that'll inspire both of us.
Yeah, we can do that. I think what we should do with the orcs is we should just paint them with, like, get our palette sorted, paint them, set where loosely we think they would sit on a diorama for lighting, and then worry about the base and stuff later. Like,
yeah.
Wavy, are you talking about Deno as being a handsome side of beef, and where is he from, or are you talking about me, mate? Because we're both handsome.
I'm a side of beef.
He's a side of beef. I'm probably more, like a pork chop.
This guy is from Nocturna models, mate.
Oh, you're talking about this? Yeah, of course. this giant ham that you're painting. Yes. Yeah, a lot of people haven't seen this model. It's surprising. A lot of people are like, "Where's this from?"
Yeah, it's Kickstarter. Kickstarter.
Did you see that Black Sun got restocked?
I did. You finally picked up breast, didn't you?
I did. That's a great win for Andy.
It is. I feel very pleased for you, mate. It's a great model, and I think most people should try and paint that model.
I think you've taken the creme de la creme of color choices for him though on your one.
On breast.
Yeah, the beautiful white mane. the very Frazetta-esque skin tones.
It almost looks like I did it in oil.
The best thing you painted last year.
Yeah, that's a big statement. It almost looked like I painted it in oils. It was it was a banger.
I know that you had what's his name up there as one of the best things you thought you did last year.
Madax.
Yeah, Madax.
I think Madax was one of the best things I did from the perspective of it resonated with like the way that I paint.
Yeah.
That's just a me paint job. But I definitely think breast was easily one of my best. And interestingly, it's the last thing I painted before I started streaming.
Mm.
And I wonder how much of my painting evolved in a detrimental way because of my streaming. Because that piece was, really, really a lot. I put a lot into that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look back and then go, oh yeah, I didn't really put as much into later pieces. So, wonder.
Well, I just think that it's taken a different skill. Either way, they got restocked. I don't know how much it worked, mate. It was a week and a half ago now, and a large portion of the community has been waiting on that restock for ages. I've also got 3 pieces in there that look
the new one
suspect as for Lucas Peter sculpts, but I think it might be Freeman, but they're real nice.
No, they're not. They're not Freeman. They're
are they Freeman?
No, they're a Russian guy. Someone Can't remember his name. Dmitry Vasparov or something like that. Someone was talking about him on the stream earlier, actually.
Yeah, they're real nice. It was probably Frog Gym. I think Piv's already picked up some of them. I picked up the Goose Lady.
Yeah. To the left if you're having a good time. Shake it to the right if you know that you feel fine.
So yeah, would you like to do a Monday night stream together after QME?
Yeah.
Are you interested in that?
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Yeah, you can
We'll do like a recap or
yeah, you can come hang out at the chateau,
Casa Deladeno.
Casa del Deno, and we'll do a Monday night live stream with Bucks and Deno.
Yeah.
First time. Get amongst us.
Get the word out, chat. It's going to be a hot one.
24th-ish, I think it is. 24th, maybe, of
Yeah.
August 23rd, maybe. Or 22nd, maybe. It's my girlfriend's birthday on the 24th. So, I don't think... What?
Yeah, well, it's 19th is the Friday. So
20
it'll be the 20th, 21st, 22nd, yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Look, Mick back, I've been trying to get on the stream in a hot tub multiple times. I've been in the hot tub, in the chat ready to go, but for whatever reason, there's been a few missed opportunities there.
I'll get an inflatable hot tub.
I just thought that, you know, we've been waiting on Tops to do a hot tub stream for almost a year now, so it's not happened. So I just thought I'd step in and fill the void. You can see my 92 kilos of unchiseled meat. Or dodged a bullet. Yeah, well, maybe.
And while we're at it, Bucks, we'll also get to see your rig, not just the meat.
See what I'm working with, eh?
No, 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 no. We will take you where you want to go.
It's got that Spice Girls vibe tonight, don't you? It's been popping up.
Yeah.
Custard is so good. It's not mousse though, is it? It's not mousse levels of good. Hey, did you have a sundae today from Hungry Jack's, mate? Did you and Mole Man acquire? Disappointed yourself, mate. Yep, both of you. I'm not mad. Just disappointed.
Just disappointed. Positivity. Colors of the world. Spice up your life. What color do I want for the medal?
We can hit the KFC up. Mission KFC. I've had a few questions pop up in my Instagram about Crimson Brush and the format, and it seems that still there are a lot of people out there that don't know about the format that we do for Crimson Brush or the format for Open. So I've been spreading that good message around.
Wonderful. Yeah, the format that we use is a format called the Open format, and it is popularised in Europe, European competitions. I am not claiming any credit for the decision to do it. This was initially Meg's approach. I'd never heard of it, but it's basically an open format. I'm sure that would shock everyone to know that the Open format is very open, where you just get to enter as many pieces as you want. There are no specific dedicated categories other than a juniors and or a
everyone else.
Everyone else. Those are the only real categories, and that's it. Your entries are judged against everyone else's, but also in our scene we try to judge against your best. And if your entry is deemed to be a gold, you will receive a gold. If there are multiple entries of yours that are deemed to be a gold, they will all receive golds. You are not competing. There is no limit on the number of golds that we'll give out or the number of silvers or bronzes. So we're not encouraging competition against other people. We're encouraging competition against yourself. So big format, great believer in that format as being one of the reasons why the European scene is as strong as it is, and perhaps why the American scene's fallen behind a little bit. That may be a controversial opinion, but
you like to rattle off a shot at our Americans, friends, don't you?
I'm allowed to, mate. I'm allowed to.
You are.
I know the Americans, and they're all trash.
Swinson, come on.
Swinson's awesome. Yeah. Oh, I'm actually. I'm gonna be.
Is that due?
He hasn't sent it yet, but because I think he's planning on taking it to Monty, so he'll send it after Monty. So a couple of. I got one or two more payments to make, and then it's mine.
I can't wait to see it in the flesh.
Me too. You going right, Rocket?
Yeah. Watching our videos.
I know. Do you want to say hello?
Watch the Paris ones.
How were they?
Yeah, I drove a golf cart.
I remember I was there.
That's just what I like to do when I have a bad day.
Is it bringing you great joy, mate, to see the Storm on a 5-game slid? Just playing like absolute trash.
Don't forget, I'm a Melbourne. I'm a Queensland fan, so Melbourne losing is basically Queensland losing in a lot of cases.
Yeah, true.
Wavy, Crimson Brush. We were just talking a little bit about the formats and why we do it the way that we do it. It's to encourage people to enter and compete against themselves as opposed to competing against other people. You really only competing against yourself. So, Frog Jim says thanks, Fidzy, that you gave him the win over Bucks' Dwarf, which is still to this day one of the greatest travesties of
no worries.
international competition judging that I can recall.
Powered me up,
I
mate.
didn't give the Tigers the game. Hey?
Oh, good one. That's an Australian comp, mate. That's run by some wonderful people in Australia, namely me.
Yeah, it's look. So it's no secret we are literally so fucking far away from the rest of the world that we may as well be on another planet sometimes. And so we have to we really have to work hard at building up our community, and especially after 2 and a bit years of being sidelined with COVID, I believe that, you know, before I had sort of joined the community, the guys and girls were on quite a roll. They'd got out some wonderful painters to run some tutorials and teach some classes. Every year it had at least one international guest for what used to be known as Crystal Dragon. It is now Crimson Brushes. Deno has taken over the organisation of the event. And so, when is it? You need a holiday. It will be in, I believe it's January at the moment. The dates are up. The 2020.
It's always on the Australia Day long weekend, which is around the 26th of January.
Yeah. I think they've actually got the tentative date. And I think there's going to be an increase in attendance overall. I believe AOS is going to be there again. So,
Is it? They're coming back?
yeah, I believe so.
Not in Melbourne, Scarborough.
No, not in Melbourne, Scarborough. It's in Canberra.
In Canberra.
Which gets way more of a bum rap than it deserves. We had an absolute blast last year. So much so that it's locked on my group that I go out with. It's all locked in everyone's calendar, and 3 of them don't even go to the CanCon event. They just like being in Canberra to hang around and do stuff. So,
G'day, Wampa.
hey, Wampa.
Yeah, Canberra, Australia Day long weekend.
Who's hairdryer?
Yeah, that's mine. So that's
Okay.
entirely my fault. My hairdryer registers as white noise, and so my audio thing will ignore it, and then when Bucks is talking, it'll be like, oh, I want to hear what Bucks is saying, but also there's white noise, so I need to stop. Yeah. So anyway, all good.
Yeah, Canberra is nice, and yeah, you're gonna hear me every time I get the opportunity to come on here as we get closer, rattle on about it, as I want to see it grow and want to promote it as much as possible and get as many people there as we can. You know, it's a competition for all skill sets, and it's an awesome weekend.
I'm obviously a big fan.
Please do, man. You get to meet the big man, and he'll ask you, you know, politely not to touch models, and otherwise he'll break your arms. That's a common one.
Yep, I will do exactly that.
Just that's a good laugh from last year. Has DC Express? You're based in Canberra. Well, that could be handy. I mean, it's a pretty good. Yeah.
Not at this stage, mate. Appreciate the offer, but my experience has usually been sufficient in that side of things. It's not a big job. It's not a big event.
No, and you got a lot of stuff prepped for last year, right? That's going to carry on through this year. So
yeah, should be pretty straightforward this year. Will just be a little bit more work on the actual weekend as opposed to lead up work. Hopefully.
But yeah, for as many people who come and watch the stream, like, and if you're obviously capable of making the trip, you definitely should.
Has Bucks implied that it's an online competition? Because
yeah, if I have, it's not online. Maybe it's a in person. I try to kick the hornet's nest a little bit when it comes to getting an online painting competition out, but
I wonder if I could do an online competition.
yeah, absolutely.
As in,
And I know Ben. Like, you want to enter one, or you want to?
no,
run one?
concurrently with Crimson Brush. Wonder if that's
Yeah.
something that's doable. Because my intent for this year is to really up the online presence of the event, stream a lot more frequently, potentially have someone else hosting.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
Yeah, well, Jared. I've always thought about like brought up the idea of potentially doing like a mid-year, having a mid-year, online comp, which but now things like QME is filling. I know that in Victoria there's a location that is very interested in firing up a premier painting event. It's a matter of if they
Sydney.
no, not in Sydney, in Victoria.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you know them. They know you. House of War team. I think
yeah.
they're pretty keen to start getting involved in that again.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Very nice people.
We just need more. We've got to, and it's not going to happen without the community doing it for ourselves. So
Sisters are doing it for themselves.
what that really means is I just nagged Deno to do it.
I always find myself in this fucking situation, mate.
You do?
Oh, and it's just like... So anyway, I did part of my trip to Melbourne. We did was a conference and we did some training stuff. And one of the training things we did was about communication styles. And there's 4 communication styles, right? And one of the communication styles that I was strong in is a style called driver.
Mm-hmm.
And so part of this learning was about what happens when you're challenged, right? And so my response as a driver when I'm challenged is to take control of the situation and fix something.
Yeah, are you talking about drivers, as in your actual drivers, like?
Well, that's just
be liked, be perfect.
No. So the term driver
yeah.
is the communication style that I am. I'm a driver.
You have to. Yes,
yeah.
You have to drive.
There was 4 types. There's driver, expressor or expressive, amicable, and analytical. And those 4 types of communication are, everyone falls into those categories. You would be expressive.
Absolutely.
Ben is probably expressive / analytical. But yeah, I actually had a pretty even spread across all of the categories. I was like part driver, part expressive, part analytical. My least one was amicable. That was another high.
Look, it's a lot of the short of this, mate, that this gets to the point where you tell us that this is what you're really good at, and so with all of your Captain Planet rings of communication combined, by his powers combined, he is the Australian event runner. Let's go.
No, what it was this driver personality. My main one is when challenged, my immediate response is to take control of a situation and do something, right? Whereas the response of an amicable person is to sit back and try to avoid being noticed. So basically, when nothing happens on the painting scene, and when no event gets organised, my default response is just, well, fuck it. If you're not going to do it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Because someone's got to do it.
Indeed.
So that's how I find myself in these situations, because I'm just immediately.
Yeah, the very idea of not having it is not an option. Yeah. So if it's not getting done, it's getting done because you'll do it.
Getting done. Someone's got to do it. So
yeah. Which is great, because I'm probably in a much better suited to be a co-conspirator than an organizer. Give me a megaphone and set me free.
Support role.
Yeah.
No, I think we'll probably try and make you the host of the Crimson Brush
Yeah.
for the weekend, uh, and I'll show you how to do all the back end stuff because it's pretty easy. And then I can concentrate on running.
Yeah.
Stonebeard can concentrate on selling some cool shit, and we should have a really strong year, I think.
Yep. Absolutely. It's definitely going to be coming off like like we're at a fighting game expo. If I'm hosting it, there's going to be lots of pop-offs. Yeah, there's going to be some big moments.
You know how you get on a YouTube bender? I found myself on a YouTube bender the other night, and I watched a moment in esports, fighting sports, like
Fighting game history.
fighting game
Yeah,
history.
yeah. Which one did you watch?
It's the one where that dude blocks and what everyone up till that point thought was an unblockable combo.
Justin Wong, Street Fighter 3,
Yeah.
Alpha. And it's
Chun
the
Li.
Ken, he's blocking the Chun Li with
He's blocking
Ken.
Chun Li with Ken. It is unbelievable. I reckon I saw it 15 years ago, however many years ago it was. I watched it and I was just like, let's go. Yeah, exactly, my man. And then it was on, it was just popped up on my stream. I'm like, oh my God, I remember this. I'm going to watch it. The crowd just goes mental. It's so good.
Bonkers. I actually spent a bit of time in the fighting game community, the FGC, for Mortal Kombat on Mortal Kombat 10. Got to probably the level just underneath the absolute pros, but got to I guess you'd say train with a lot of the pros. You know what I mean? Like Australians, real gun players, like sit in their lobbies and play against them, where you sort of win one game and they win 15, sort of thing. Yeah. It's I love the way that the fighting game community runs their like Twitch channels and all that sort of stuff. It's just a lot of fun and a lot of hype, a lot of big moments. Don't take it too serious. Yeah.
That's just an all-time moment, though. Hey, like all time.
Yeah, Mo. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's been a whole bunch of them. There was one not probably 3 years ago or 4 years ago that where a player had thought he'd won and got up to full on celebrate and hadn't quite ticked to the last point of damage, and then the other player realized and just towels him up and absolutely shattered. I love the pop off Pock Chop is a player and he has this mad rivalry for Tekken, and those they go off, they almost hit physical levels of competition, and I love that about the FGC. Man. I used to have a fight stick as well, but I actually ended up for Mortal Kombat much more preferring a controller. I used the fight stick for a bit of SF5 when it first came out, but never been my game. I like the NetherRealm games a bit more.
I just love it when people are excited about something,
Absolutely.
It's so cool. Just, I don't care what it is. If you're excited about fucking wood turning, just get pumped. If you're excited about grilling meats in a barbecue, just get pumped. I just want to see you pumped about it,
Yeah, last night Ben and I were just discovering our kinship even further as we both just getting super hype about watching people in woods build shit.
Oh, yeah, I love those guys. They're just building.
You love those guys too.
Yeah, building houses and shit out in the thing.
What we're doing after stream.
Yeah.
But Ben's got a serious froth level for people who empty. He just wants to see what's in people's pockets.
Oh wow.
And all the gadgets and tools, and apparently tech ones where they just pull out all this cool tech. But there's also the more prim ones that have all these tools and things. So he takes it to another level there.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And those building ones are crazy, eh?
Yeah, they're just really cool to watch. You got a real interesting palette on this one.
Yeah, it's weird, eh?
It's weird. He's pale.
Yep, I think I'm gonna darken him. With some airbrush.
Some glazes, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know to what color thing yet. I was like thinking, oh, maybe I'll go into a reddy sort of color, but then yeah, I've got these other cold colors, so we'll just see what happens as I keep.
Yeah. I mean, you can push the red up through the pectoral, like the lower end of the
Yeah, we
pectorals
can.
and under the chin. Like always, that works.
Still a bit of experimentation at the moment. Give it a try.
Yeah, what's going on with the horns? I don't think anything at this point.
Probably black.
Yeah, I think so. Black to brown or black to that. I like horns, that horn color where you go from like a pretty strong orange into a black, that kind of like Texas ranch horn
Oh
that you
yeah,
see,
yeah.
like. Yeah, well, they're water buffalo horns, right? Like that's what it looks like. Boy, what's the temperature like up there at the moment? What's it going to be like for us in 4 weeks? Just under 4 weeks.
August is usually pretty chilly
Yeah.
for us. So
So what's that sort of 10s, 15s,
25.
25? Okay.
No, it'll probably be 15 to 20.
Yeah. So jumper and pants is fine.
Yeah.
I don't need to be packing shorts.
No. Well, I would pack shorts, but
Yeah, but that's yeah. You pack shorts to Canberra and then wonder why you're cold.
I don't ever get cold in Canberra, mate.
Oh, just pop it off, big back. Just let him know. Just be like, hey mate, can you get those horns going?
Mate, just tell me, I'll do them. I don't know, got no concerns there. Just getting shit done. Canberra does get cold, but I generally feel it.
I like these little pistachio hits that are in the flesh.
Yep.
Nice choice. Who's in Minnesota? Is Wampa in Minnesota? My guy. I'm an absolute diehard Minnesota sports fan.
Well, yeah, Wampa need to get onto a chat, mate. The guy's a lunatic for sport.
Yeah. Absolute diehard Wolves fan. Yep. Mozzo knows. You see over here in that cabinet over there. Let's see. Yeah, that's a signed Carl Anthony Towns rookie ball. There's a signed Carl Anthony Towns jersey in there. Yep. Yeah, my whole household and a lot of adjacent people are now Wolves fans. Don't mind a little bit of Vikings and a little bit of Wild talk, a little bit of Twins talk. I feel like we can share in the suffering of being a mediocre sports city in America.
All right. So my plans for the rest of the week, I will not be streaming on Wednesday nights. I've discussed this with the stream before. Wednesday nights are going to spend some time with my girlfriend who now lives with me. Wonderful. Or maybe not, but I'm just not going to be streaming. But I will be back on Sunday morning. I didn't stream on yesterday morning. I was planning on it, but I woke up feeling pretty ordinary again, so I just gave it a miss. But I may actually stream on the weekend my first Oathsworn video that I'm going to cut into a show thing. Yeah. But yeah, the next few weeks will mostly just be focused on this model and the historical figure I'm going to paint for Queensland Model Hobby Expo. Speaking of,
Ooh, what historical are we doing? Let's go. Let's get hyped.
All right, let me show you.
I need to talk to you about something. How long are we going to be on for? How much longer are we going to be on for?
Oh yeah, I'm just going to go through my stuff and then probably not much longer. Why? What do you got?
Oh, I just sort of run an idea through. No, I know you're going to give me the answer for, so it can wait. You can bring up some stuff.
This is the figure that I am doing for my historical.
Oh, you got Ube. You got it off. Jado.
Yeah, it's a nice figure.
Nice choice. It's a very nice choice. He's an awesome character too.
He's a nice sculptor, Raul Garcia Latorre. A very nice sculptor.
You know, I literally was like, I should buy this.
All right, so I'm going to quickly run through my entries.
Yeah, it is Cooch. That's who it is. Yeah.
My entries for Queensland Model Hobby Expo. So, okay, let's go. So I'll just bring up. I do this every year where I write them down so I don't forget because I usually have quite a few. This is my little painting file. I have this just with all of my models that I've got, all my dioramas, all my projects.
Just quietly look what he has sitting at the top of things I own. No problem, mate. Biggest flex going.
Pretty good. I'll just move this one now up to here. I sold this one. Oh, someone's trying to call me from Sydney. Fuck off. Yeah, cool. So these are my Kickstarters I'm waiting on. This is some projects I'm waiting on. Blah 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 blah.
You got Mindworks Oz. You chose to get that.
Yeah, I've got it sitting over there. That'll be a nice little one for when I feel like a big project. So here's my QMHE entries. So let's go from top to bottom. Frozen Throne is this piece. Somewhere on my Instagram. Here we go. This one. So that's my first entry. Frozen Throne. That'll go in the little
Morrigan.
Yeah, little vignettes category. Very cool. Big fan of that. My next entry is the Wood Elves, and these were painted for Miniacs Kickstarter. So that's this little trio of chaps. Another vignette entry. So
Honestly, what a wife. Turns up just with a hot chocolate with marshmallows.
Anya, Jubbers, great work. I doubt that. Gates of Hyperborea, yep, so that's obviously this one. This is my main.
That's going to fly for best in show.
Yeah, that's my main entry, my main hope, aspiration. Yep, pretty keen on that. Jewel is this little jewel here between these two friends. That's a good. It's actually one of the best things I painted this year, believe it or not. But yeah, it's just been sitting there. Yep. So that's Jewel. The Gauls will be my only historical bust entry at the moment, which is these ones. I normally do a
Gatorix and his two buddies, one of them being Deno, the other one being Bucks.
Yeah. I normally do a couple of historical busts. I just haven't seen too many that really tickled my fancy other than this one this year. So
you only dropped one last year as well, eh? You just did the Roman last year.
I did two. I did the Roman and a Barbarian.
And the Crusader went as well, didn't he?
And the Crusader, yeah. So I'll only have 3 historical entries. Pixie is an entry, which is this one. She's better than she looks in the photos, I've got to tell you. She looks really good in the hand. So yeah, I'm proud of that one.
Yeah, you went a bit cold on this after it, and
Yeah,
I thought you'd done a
it's
really
good.
nice job on that one.
This one's a token entry. This guy, I'm just throwing him in.
Lyle, bit of numbers.
Yeah, just pad out the numbers, mate. Pad out the entries.
What do we call them? Filler one,
Yeah,
filler two.
yeah, absolutely. This one's probably my favourite bust. I reckon I've painted in, geez, a few years. It's up there with one of the best things I've painted, and it just got absolutely no love from.
Yeah, this boy just got trounced in the social circle.
Yeah,
And not
just
sure
got
why.
nothing. I'm keen for you to see him in the hand, mate, because I think you'll be really.
Well, you allowed me to have a lot of influence on the colours and things. We like chatted the whole way through that piece.
Yeah.
So the fact that the socials didn't like it didn't just hurt you, but it hurt me.
Hurt your
as well.
feelings, yeah.
Like I've got a bone to pick over this. All right. So if
Thalira,
you have an account, by the way, if you have an account on Putty and Paint,
get
go
in
and
there.
slip that a gold.
Get in there. We're doing Thalira, obviously. She'll be finished. Haven't finished her yet. Octavius. So this one, low key. I did this in a day, but this is definitely one of the better busts I've painted in. Again, yeah, quite a while. Like I smashed out some really good shit this year.
Yeah. This one was a one day, and it was like a really nice swerve.
Yeah.
Because you'd been in a lot of cool color palettes, so
Yeah.
this just came out of nowhere, and it definitely caught a lot of our attention.
Yeah, it's just a great figure. So yeah, just knocked that out in a day. So that's Octavius. Moonface, another token entry. He's fine. He looks pretty good in real life. The colours are real vibrant in real life.
Cozy would have come, but it's already gone, isn't it?
Yeah, Cozy's gone. Yeah, I would have loved to have brought Cozy. I would have loved to have brought the Huntress. She was gone. And then I could potentially ask you to bring Rahel, but I don't think I need. I've got enough bust entries.
I'm happy to, yeah, if you want to. I mean, I think she's wonderful.
Yeah, she is. I'm gonna bring my Spidercules from my Kingdom Death. I don't think I've entered.
I thought about bringing up some stuff from Crimson Brush just to fill out pad out some numbers and bulk it out.
Yeah, so this is my Spidercules. It's just a cool creepy model, and one of my golden rules for this event is go big. So
yeah, you took Dragon last year.
Yeah, I took the Dragon last year, so we'll take Spider this year, and then I'll also bring Gold Smoke Knight, which is this guy. So there's a wargaming category, right? So I always like to just chuck a couple of like board games figures that I've painted in. So that's Gold Smoke Knight. My Oathsworn, this collection of these chaps that I've been painting, I'm going to enter them in unit. So all these ones, all 12 of those, I'll enter that into the units. And the goblins that I painted on the Word Miniatures channel.
I love those goblins. The bases you did for them were great.
Yeah, so they're I'm going to chuck those in as well. And then the historical and the one I'm painting right now. So that's my entries. I think it's 15 or 16, about on par for how many I normally enter. Last year was
14, wasn't it? Last year, 14 entries.
I think so, about 14. It was just after this. After this.
Now, this isn't just this is open as well, isn't it? Like you can
Yep.
there are multiple.
Yep.
Or is it just a first, second, third?
Yep. No, it's all the golds get golds, etc. etc. So,
Yeah.
I think I got, what did I get, seven golds last year. Here's the entries. Yeah, so that was Camelot. Those two dioramas.
The legend. How are you, Jim?
G'day, Jim. So I did enter those 5 figures. Those 2 in historical bust. Those 4 in fantasy bust. Yeah, those 2 in single figure. Some other stuff in diorama. Oh, I did the worm spat. That's right. And the Bloodborne. And the Kingdom Death. Yeah. So yeah, it's a fun little event. This is a good model. I forgot I painted this. This was like a last minute entry as well.
Yeah, this was a nice model.
Great figure.
Once she cleaned up her chin,
Oh,
it was
the
quite
chin. The chin was ordinary. Yeah, I did a little stream from there actually last year from the event. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. We could probably do the same again, right? Like, because there's going to be a few of us there, so
Yeah.
we jump on Instagram Live or something like that.
Or
Yeah,
Twitch.
like,
Or Twitch.
there's going to be quite a few of us there. So
Or Twitch. Twitch
yeah,
is
or
fine.
Twitch. Yeah.
What's my next diorama? It's going to be the vampires, and it's very likely that I'll kick into it soon, pretty soon. I'm ready to get started on a new big project, I think.
Are you actually a lock yet, Jared? Are you definitely coming up? Yep, there we go. There's another one. Excellent.
Cool. Nice.
All right, let's talk about this.
All right.
So right here, we have Big Child Creatives. What is it? Thingo Histories.
Yep.
I have the Spartan. Right?
Yep.
Now, I really want to paint this Spartan blue,
Yep.
but it is such an iconic character, right, that I can't be fucked being told every time that someone sees this that it's supposed to be red.
Yeah.
So the option is to either convert it, but at this point I can't be bothered doing that either, because to turn it into an Athenian, which are the sort of three, you know, it'll be a 300 inspired piece, by the way. Just hold it up to the camera. So
Yep.
this is in here.
Great figure. Yep.
Yeah. To be an Athenian, you'd need to take the hair off the top of his helm, the plume. You'd have to change it from a spear to a sword and basically change the shield as well. So, yeah. So, all of you here now need to convince me that I should just be painting it blue because that's what I want to do and fuck the haters. However, this would make for a pretty good historical entry for QME in which I can try to be accurate. So you see my conundrum.
I do see your conundrum. If you paint it blue and you enter it in historical, you are unlikely to place.
Yeah.
Unlikely. I painted a Saladin model and I based it on a historical piece of artwork I saw.
Yeah.
And I got shredded because it wasn't historically accurate enough. I got no medal. I got nothing.
Yeah.
They're just very, very keen on stuff being super representative of
the time.
Well, of their perception of that.
So how are they going to feel then about my 3rd century, Celt? You've seen that yet?
Refresh my memory.
Shall I grab a photo and bring it across?
Sure.
Let us do this. You can bring it up. Some shameless self-promotion on the stream.
I'm into you. Is it Big Child that did that one?
This sculpt?
Yeah.
I don't even know who this one is. You will know, but I don't even know.
Oh no, the Spartan.
The Spartan, yes, it is the Big Child. It's the one of 3.
The one of 3.
It's the lunging one, yeah.
Yeah, that's those 3 I was looking at the other day. If Jim had him in stock,
yeah,
I was on his website. If he had him in stock, I would have ordered it on Friday to get here to enter in the historical category because I was like, fuck yeah, I can paint some Spartans. That'd be sick. And then they weren't present. And I was like, Jim, you've let me down.
All right, here we go. Now, these are all historically accurate colours. Feel free to bring it up, my friend. However, they're painted in unapologetically Gen Sat style.
Saturation generation. Yeah, boy. Yeah. I'll be keen to see how that goes, actually.
Yeah.
That
shield is a direct replica of Shields of that time, I believe.
That's going to be a very interesting entry, mate. I'm keen. I'm keen to see how it does because deserves to do well. Deserves to do well.
So Deno's goals though, yeah.
Yeah, my goals were done. Have I got them here? No. Yeah, my goals were based on specific color artwork and stuff as well. But if they get anything, I'd be surprised.
So if they try to go after it, what I'm going to reference them to is to go look at the FER website and have a look at the Celt on that website that Mark Maskelyne painted. And it's a very, very similar color scheme.
Good luck.
But they love FER, right?
Good luck. Now look, so it's an event, and I'm rarely critical of judging, right? You know, I think it's a hard job. Trust me, I've done it. You do your best, but the challenge that they've got is figure painting has really kicked off in the last few years at the event. But a lot of the people that judge, obviously volunteer judges, are not from a figure background. The ones that potentially could judge those categories have entered it. So they get tank guys, they get they get Gundam guys, and they get all these sorts of other guys judging, and they're doing their best, right? They're doing their best, but
They're not equipped.
the historical guys are always like, well, you know, I want to see some specific stuff that was in that era. You know, I want to see muted tones. I want to see very, very low value shifts. You know, it's all about.
They'll love my fucking William Wallace there, won't they?
Yeah. So it's not that they're bad judges, it's that they don't really understand what it is they should be looking for as a general rule. Now, every now and then you'll get a couple of categories and you'll be like, yep, that's correctly judged. Well done. Go, Sleepy Slang. Other times you'll see it and you'll just be like last year, the fantasy bust category, I got a bronze. A singular bronze. And that was not correct.
That was not it.
That was not correct. But
I didn't realise it was just one singular bronze.
Yeah. I'll show you my entries because
So we're just going to run a side event on Monday night where we put all of our friends bus together and we do a little judge off for some Milky Ways and some Mars bars.
yeah. I got a bronze for these four.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes. What won gold?
It's on the website. You can check it out. Yeah. But and then to top that off, I got gold with Bress, the old barbarian, which I put in historical.
Yeah.
And I got silver with the friggin' non-metallic metal tribune.
Yeah.
in historical bust.
Historicals.
So in fantasy bust, which is like, yeah, Dano's jam, got a bronze.
Just got towed up in there. Just
It was wild. So look, yeah, take the judging with a grain of salt. They do their best. They do their best, but they usually don't really know.
Well, I'm pulling on you to have some influence or maybe steer them in the right direction, mate.
Yeah.
As to what
I'll give him a tap.
entry.
I'll give him a tap on the shoulder, mate, and say,
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. Because, Bun, she's not going to take that. She'll tee off on him.
No, she'll do fine. Her style will absolutely resonate with the judges. She will absolutely kill it. So will Benny. Actually, we'll be lucky if we beat those two, mate. They will be the rock stars of the event. But no, it's a wonderful event.
No love for saturation generation, eh?
No, the team saturation gets nothing. We get
Yeah.
nothing. Yeah, it'll be a good little event. I always enjoy, even though there is that question mark over the judging, it's always just a nice event, and you can tell they're not doing it to specifically antagonize people. They're just doing their best. So good luck to them.
Yeah, the MEs or the model expos that roll on our coastline. That you're going into their arena, and we've always talked about this, right? Like, if you want to win stuff, paint to the judges.
Correct.
Like that's the way to do it. But for the most part, I know for myself, and I think I can speak for you on this one. The fact that we're all going to get together up in Queensland and just have a really great time, that's the win.
Yeah.
Whatever comes out of the event is fine. I don't care if I walk away with anything. And I know for the most part, that's the general vibe for our crew of painters.
I don't worry about
Except for
individual.
Bun loves to take skulls. She is a skull taker.
Yeah, I don't worry too much about individual accolades, but I do set myself the lofty aspiration of winning, like best of show or model of the show or one of those big ones, just because it's like, well, yeah,
you got to have goals.
Yeah, I ain't big.
It still factors in, like,
I ain't big, Deno. Fucking hell.
And
I just have no idea what's happening with this figure. This is just a bizarre.
Nah, it's fine, man. It's first one back. It's you were very kind to yourself saying 4 weeks. I think you've had a bit more than that off display painting. I think it's been close to 2 months now, mate.
Yeah, not intentionally, mate. Like I was.
Yeah, you just had a tough run.
Yeah, just sick and then work and then sick and then work and then. I've sworn the videos I did those in that period.
Yeah.
It was just full
Just
on.
a casual 20 videos or whatever it was.
There's a lot.
Just a quick 20. Just rolled out a 20 piece.
Takes it out of you a bit, actually. So, yeah, but this is fine. I mean, I'm liking the skin tone and stuff. We'll see how the rest of it comes together.
Yeah, I like the skin tone. I don't like the blue, but I do like the skin tone.
I'm thinking about transitioning this blue into some more reddy tones with some airbrush, like purpley red.
Yeah, pulling it down to like a wine red would be nice.
Yep, and see how that looks.
Hey, you know what I've been playing around with a little bit lately? Been playing around with the Pro Acryl range and the Golden range, and I must admit I'm liking what they're putting out.
Yeah, I've tried a few Goldens. I don't mind them. Pro Acryl, never tried them, but yeah, I've heard they're okay. You like them?
Yeah, they've got some nice metallics.
Yeah.
And building a paint collection is about exploring all the ranges and comboing it all up, and they've definitely got some colors that really complement, for example, some of the Citadel colors, especially in the metallic range, some of the Vallejo colors. So yeah, been really pleased with the results we're getting out of them.
I'm all about not like fixating on a brand and just getting colors that you like. Like I've got Rhinox hide because it's one of the best browns.
Is it not just one of the best browns?
One of the best browns. Yeah, it's just absolutely
just
phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I've got Chimera colors, and then I've got other ones. So it's just use what you need. Sleepy Slang. Yep. Let's knock out this stream with a little bit of feedback on Sleepy Slang.
Yeah, let's do it.
Something. And then we'll wrap up for the evening.
Oh, this is cool.
It's Sif from the board game, I think. Dark Souls, I think, the board game. Yeah. There you go. Big Deno, spot on. Have you got any more angles?
Yeah, I wanted a sideways angle if you've got it on both sides, like one for the sword being predominant and then one for the fur, so left side and then maybe front right, 45.
What do you want to achieve from this feedback, mate? What do you want to achieve from this feedback experience?
Well, he said roast me.
Well,
and we know
that's waving a red rag to a bull, mate. Like,
it was mainly light placement and value.
With the specific angle that we have, I really like this piece. I think the grey has a nice transition from light to dark. I think you've done a reasonable job on the fur, knowing that the sculpting isn't great. I really like those color nuances, the teal, pterodon turquoise or whatever it is in those shadows. I really like how much emphasis you've got on the paw, which moves up into the darkness and then back out into the face. I would have brought the value of the face even higher. I particularly like the sword blade as well. I think that's a well done.
Yeah, it's a nice photo.
Yeah, well done sword.
Yeah, I probably on the sword. The only thing that I would criticize on the sword is that when you're doing the sharpest edge lines and the center line, those lines have to be pretty straight.
Spot
Like
on.
I think
Yeah,
it's one of those spaces that you can't
can't get it wrong.
you have to be technical on it.
Yep. The side angle shows that you probably need a little bit more value contrast in that fur. Again, sculpting notwithstanding, because it's a
It almost like it feels like as someone who's not painted this model but spectating your comments and the actual paint job, you almost want to ignore this fur totally and just start building your own on top of it, right, through your paint method, because it looks like it's a bit of a schmozzle.
Yeah. But overall, mate, like if I was to try and get hypercritical, it would be difficult because there's no real flaws in terms of like technique, in terms of like it honestly, if that was one of my board game figures, I'd be pretty happy with that. I'd be like, yep, get on my fucking table and play some games. It's good.
So what I do really like is the legs. The legs have
Yeah.
a really nice shift in them.
Yep.
The lower leg, that is, like when the fur ends and you're just doing your own sort of take there. That's really nice. I mean, you could probably have added some further styration into there just to sell that there's still hair there, but I mean, you don't have to because there's such dense sort of thick hair above.
Yep.
And the hair would be shorter in that space. So. I like the patterning that you've chosen for the face.
Yep.
These are like little things that, like, if you just don't get them right, the piece is doomed from the start. So you've nailed that.
Yeah, it's a really good,
Yeah, it's sound.
yeah, solid.
7 out of 10 gaming piece, like,
Yep.
And that's exactly where you want to land a gaming piece.
Yeah, completely agree. Now, if we were talking about, hey, let's make this a display model, start from ground up and we'll cut you to ribbons. But I don't think that's what you're aiming for this piece. And so, that's a good standard to be at for your gaming figures, mate. I'd be chuffed if that was mine. I actually went and looked at a commission painter to do some gaming stuff for me purely because I want to paint the cool shit from there, but I don't want to do the rest of the stuff. So I was like, imagine if I just got a guy to paint like all my board game stuff, all the wheat, the chaff.
All the chaff.
Yeah. And then I'll just do the cool shit. So yeah, bit of fun. All right, I'm just going to quickly airbrush
Yeah,
this
and
stuff here.
so I guess to hit you on that last little thing where you says I was a little bit lost on the head with the light since it's bowed down. Lighting is one of those ones where if trying to achieve a light source is more headache than it's worth, either rule of cool it or just don't worry about it.
Yep. Rule of cool for me. Just do something that looks cool. Doesn't matter if it's correct, if it looks cool. If I only could make a deal with God, get him to swap our places, be running up that road, be running up that building.
And if you're the Duffer Brothers, you'd be seriously thinking about how to get Eddie back in the show.
Oh, get him in. Get him back, Eddie. Mate, it's the only way to paint. I'm telling you, best fun.
Yeah, that statement is like rings true every time you sort of put it out there. Watching Sergio's time lapse, and I've no secret that I've probably been influenced fairly solidly by the Spaniards in the same way that you have. It was just it was like watching him do it just reminded me why I like painting. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I stripped a couple of old busts down, a couple of old Viking busts, like that I painted a long time ago because I just wanted to repaint them. And I'd started painting in my normal process, and then I went and looked at the tome of knowledge, and just completely detoured into the volume painting style. You know how Kirill and Masculins like to tuck all their volumes in and then sort of blend between them. And I hated it. I actually hated it, and I was like, is my style emerging, or more importantly, have I started to find what I like to do with painting? And it was an interesting thing that happened. It was kind of scary because it was like, oh no, have I found a way that I think looks good, and so I'm now boxed in and I'm not going to learn anymore, or have I just found a style that I don't want to do?
Or have you just started to hone in on your voice?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't be drawing too many conclusions at this stage, mate, because I've found my voice multiple times. My style's changed multiple times over the course of however long. So
Yeah. Let's get a little bit of this Sigval Bergen. Yeah.
all right, I am gonna pop some red on this, and then I'm popping on out. Let's go. Okay, let's go. Mate, I love the results that those guys get. Fuck, it's hard. It's hard to replicate that. They've got so much experience, so many years of painting models. It's hard. It's hard work.
Yeah, it's not actually, Richard Gray he won Golden Demons in like 99, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure. Or
Yeah.
like, I'm
Long
pretty
time,
sure
yeah.
he's pulled awards out of the late 90s or early 2000s. So that's like 20 years going strong at your developing your style. Here's another one like that who I didn't realize was going that long. Albert.
Yeah, Albert's a fucking old school, mate.
Yeah. So like, yeah, and pretty recent as well with the Titan. Yeah, absolutely. But these people have been honing that style for a long time. And if you want to do their style, it's going to take a hot minute to get there.
Yeah, I'm all about the fun, the loose, the just enjoy it style. Someone said something to me the other day, like, it wasn't you, and maybe it wasn't actually a conversation, but I just read it somewhere. It's like, how many miniatures are you actually going to paint in the rest of your life? Like, I am turning 40 next year, right? Let's say I paint till I'm 60, maybe 70, right?
Probably 70, I'd say.
Yeah. Well, let's cut it down to 60, right?
Yeah.
I am one of the fastest painters I know, and I paint one display model a week.
Yep.
So I paint 52 models in a year. So in the 20 years I've got left, I'm going to paint another 1,000 models.
Yeah.
So 1,000 models sounds like
That's
a lot.
1,000 display models. He'll also paint a ton of board games. Yeah.
Right, but that's not a lot, man.
No.
Like, it sounds like a lot when you hear that, but it's not that many. And I am one of the fastest. So you could probably quarter that for most people, and you'd be about right. So if most people get 250 models painted in the next 20 years,
Yeah. So I would challenge you on something, right? Your speed, right, is a standard. It's funny because the speed that you paint at is incredibly fast. Absolutely, no one can doubt that, right? But your speed has had an impact on us below you, in that your speed has created, I think, like a bit of a hyperbolic chamber, and we're in there. We just think that that's the norm, right? Because Ben's pretty fast.
yep,
Storm's pretty fast. I think I'm pretty fast.
yep,
Right. So how crazy is that? Is like that you've almost set a normity now. It's like we just go fast. Like, and
yep.
that's just the environment we've sort of come up in. And so I think that's awesome. Also, I love the red choice actually on the face. That's done heaps of work.
Yeah, I concur.
But isn't that interesting on influence? You know, I think Jared's fun. I would say, hey, Jared, if are you still around? Do you think you've got faster since like the exposure to coming to the stream, spending a bit more time with us, like in painting? I'd be interesting to see your take on that. Yep, for sure. Yeah. So Oz took 6 days. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, there are people, local people that would say that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people.
No. So hear this out, right? A friend of mine messaged me on Instagram, and he messaged me about my Elder Army. He said, "Hey man, I love the way this Elder Army is looking, dude. It's sick." And I'm like, "I really appreciate that." And then I threw him some photos of this. He said, "I love when army painting, you know, gets done quite well." And I sent him some photos of these Space Marines, and I'm like, 30 Space Marines in a week. You know, let's go. This is the game plan. And caveat that with, like, I just want to paint a lot of stuff. And the reality is, if you want to paint a lot of stuff, right, you gotta get fast. So I think that was at the core of your decision to get fast, right?
Well, there's so many models I want to paint.
Yeah.
But my speed comes from the fact that I'm not results focused. I'm experience focused. I want to experience painting lots of models. So, that's what I do. But yeah, it's
You know, a lot of people always talk about the Deno speed. You know what I mean? Like it's a thing. You know, it's become a thing. It's sort of burst into the painting world, and now it's. I'm sure you've heard it plenty.
there's a standard that I want my work to be at for sure. But if there's ever a moment where I'm like, oh, am I not enjoying this anymore? Then that's when I'll just close it out and finish it up. I'm never painting something if I'm like, oh, I don't want to be doing this now. I don't want to do this unless I'm trying to do it for a competition. That doesn't happen very often. Most of the time, I'm just like, yeah, I'm just painting this for fun and having a great time, and that's all I want. And it's doing that results in, I believe, a better paint job because you're painting for fun and you're enjoying what you're doing.
And it's a better overall experience.
Yeah. I've seen guys like Albert who paint, you know, that dwarf is literally one of the most incredible paint jobs I've ever seen, right?
Mm.
But he spent a year and a half on that.
Yeah.
Do you know how many models I've painted in a year and a half?
Yeah.
Do you know how many things I've done in that time? And, you know.
Well, and there has to be a sacrifice, right? Like one way or the other. Like, so you can have that level of peace if you're willing to put that much time in, and that should be celebrated. But equally so, like we have to find other avenues to celebrate too, because
it's just
1 year on a piece is really cool. But you know, if I saw the updates for that piece every time something changed, by the end of it, I'd be so sick and tired of seeing it.
Yeah.
I'd just be done. You know, wouldn't be able to appreciate it the right way.
It all comes back to my stupid article that I wrote many years ago. Knowing your goal. What's your goal? What do you want to achieve out of this? If you want to achieve a competition-winning piece that is reminiscent of the great Games Workshop pieces of old, maybe you do need to spend time like Albert. If you just want to enjoy your hobby, have some cool painted models at the end of it, great. It's a different goal. Knowing your goal is...
Yeah. I should also preface that comment about sort of Albert's dwarf and not liking it would be even if it was my thing that I had painted and I had just seen it that many times, like
sick of it.
I feel like you'd fall in and out of love with it on a regular basis to eventually just not even want to look at it ever again.
That's his skill. It's not that his brush control is any better than mine or yours. It's his skill is I can stick at something for 12 months and
and just keep refining it.
Yeah, just keep going. Long question. Why I don't start with contract paint? I do sometimes. Sometimes I do. I think contrast paints I feel like work best as a filter.
Yeah, glaze, filter, for sure, I would agree with. Or like a shade when you want to paint a pouch or a belt buckle detail, they work really well in that regard as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, nothing against it, but the reason I don't, and it's a pretty simple answer. When you use an airbrush filter or a contrast paint filter using a zenithal, it is so hard to replicate that color with a brush, and unless you have unbelievable airbrush control, to be able to get that type of, softened, slightly desaturated look from an airbrush zenithal prime and then a contrast paint over the top, you just can't replicate that exact same color easily.
Well, and if you put it over, like if you do one layer and then do another in another area, it'll be darker.
Correct.
So it's going to be so almost, I would say, pretty close to impossible to keep consistency across the whole piece.
So I try to go brush colors first and then filter second with airbrush and or contrast paints, because then if I need to, I can go back in and replicate that process and not have to worry about sort of those other areas. But
you like an airbrush underpaint as well, though.
Yeah, it's a fair question though.
I think more often than not, all a zenithal really does is allow us to sort of see.
Yeah, it's to see the lights. It's to understand the volumes better. That's what I use it for. I just want to feel like I understand what's
transpiring in front of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to do like for example, if you want to do ultra smooth female skin, predominantly leaning on your airbrush, that's when you actually fold the zenithal into your painting by, painting your shadows in, then painting your midtones in, and then finally gently glazing over the white of the zenithal.
You just don't want to have to do a section, do a bit more. You don't have to, you just do not want to be finding yourself where you're like, yeah, you know what, I need to redo that bit, because that's...
Well, you can't go back, which I found, on my Alicia, the really smooth purple skinned Alicia, right, was like once I'd laid it all in, I couldn't do anything. Even if I like touched an area with the brush, it would change the way
Yep.
because the I should have sealed it inevitably, right? I learned that afterwards, but even a bit of moisture on a brush would change the consistency from one airbrush area to another. So,
yeah.
Hey, Space Toy, it has been a while, mate.
Thank you, mate. Yes. Well, unfortunately, we're finishing up right now, so it's going to have to be another while. But we'll be back next Monday, and we'll continue with this and see what we can figure out is going on. All right, let's find someone to raid, friends. Whom can we raid? Twitch. Oh, Cesar's painting some cool shit. Do like Cesar. Mondays and Sundays. Won't be doing Wednesday nights anymore. Live channels. Miniature figures. Brush for Hire, Nalin, Mark Loans. I'm just gonna
It's man baby Monday.
Nah, shan't be looking for that guy again. Shan't. Mr. Dino. That doesn't look like a lot of miniature figures, Mr. Dino.
What about D6 Fix? How about my guy? Can we go in and give him a raid? Look at that, he's got an overlay going, he's up to the quality.
Alright, if it's not 1080p, alright, we're gonna tell he's brought out the bum crack as well.
Yeah.
The wolf pack has answered. Let's go chase the D6 Fix. Let's get him while he's not expecting it.
Yeah.
Alright.
Here we come.
Time first.
What a legend.
So the Thousand Suns are essentially their kind of whole shtick is they are all psychics. So every single member of their legion has psychic powers.
Look at that, he's just wording up he's preaching a sermon right now.
He's teaching as he's painting. What an amazing guy. Good on you, D6. Friends, have a wonderful, wonderful week. I'll see you again soon. See you, Bucks.
See you, mate. It was an absolute
Thousand
pleasure.
Suns sitting around and they're cleaning their bolt guns. And Roman kind of like takes his apart, undoes all the screws and everything,